sleepless nights I lay awake, thinking about the future while you lie in bed.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Comments from the Peanut Gallery podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Kurtz. I'm here right now with a very special guest, UFC heavyweight Maurice Greene. How you doing today, my man?
Man, I'm doing good. I can't complain, you know. Mid-camp, actually, not even mid-camp. We're right at the end of camp, so a few short weeks here, it's going to be go time, so.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you very much for taking the time. Like I say, I know it's a busy point within, camp and training schedule and all that. Got the family here too, so thank you very much for taking the time.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Do you have any sponsors or anybody that you want to throw a shout out to?
Man, just a big shout out to I got a couple of guys that kind of helped me out. Balance Naturals, who actually is a CBD company out of Minnesota. Make sure they even sent me a package out here to make sure I had all my CBD needs, rubs, creams, roll-ons, and then just, thanks to my coaches at Start BJJ in Minnesota and Brock Larson, who, is the reason why I'm in Colorado here with Factory X. He told me it's time to go out there and go out and learn. So that's about it, man.
Awesome.
And hopefully a new sponsor one day. I drank these. This Coils, I don't know.
Coils is legit. For anybody out there who hasn't had Coils.
If you haven't had this, you may want to get some. I've had quite a few of them since I've been out here. And I haven't had a bad one yet. They're pretty dang good. This is that Berry Genius, see? Makes you genius. It's, what does it say? Brain support.
It's full of nootropics, got a lot of MCT oils in it. It's going to help fuel the body with some extra electrolyte content in the mix too as well. They've got a great apricot vanilla flavor. They've also got the pear guava. The pear guava is probably my favorite personally.
That one's pretty good. I really like that Fit soda though.
Oh,
Have you had that?
I have
the orange creamsicle?
The orange creams. Oh yeah, the BCAA sodas. Oh my God, those are phenomenal.
Anyway. Hopefully I'll be shouting them out more too, but regardless, this is some good shit, people. So
get yourself on some Coils. You can also pick those up right over here at Performance MMA, so make sure you give that a look. Also want to throw a quick shout out to the Colorado Native Company. It's right now at that peak season as far as the heat coming up with the summertime. Make sure that you give a call to Colorado Native Company at 303-218-7788 and ask for Robbie. That's the Colorado Native Company, servicing all of your HVAC needs here in the Denver and in the Castle Rock area. So make sure that you guys give them a call, and yeah, they do some great work. Now we're about to get to know a little bit Mo about Big Mo.
Absolutely.
So Mo, why don't you just let us know, what got you here to this point, getting to the UFC. You've been, you participated in Glory as well, have some kickboxing to your background. What brought you here? What's the journey like?
I was just a fat boy, man, and had a couple buddies who got me to lose, I was 330, they got me to lose 30 pounds. And I had other buddies I'm throwing a fight. Maurice, you're a big guy. You want to fight? Now, mind you, I didn't fight a day in my life. I was a little scared of it. But I was like, all my guys was there, so I had to man up. I was like, yeah, I'll fight. So I go and tell him. He goes, well, you got to go to a gym. So went to a gym. Went to the first gym I ever walked into was Wrecking Ball Fight Facility in Volo, Illinois. It's still a team today, still out in that Volo, Illinois area. And they were just like, Maurice, I don't know, we wouldn't recommend you fighting. You never did any combat sports. But we'll send corners out with you, but we're not gonna put the gym on you.
Right.
Very understandable.
Right.
Well, I won by third round TKO, referee stoppage. And man, that was the beginning. I took my second fight really fast, lost, and then I took 6 months off and just learned jiu-jitsu, and started really digging into jiu-jitsu with Jeff Serafin, who was my first jiu-jitsu coach, and Rick Salo, who was my Thai boxing coach at Evanston Boxing Club in Evanston, Illinois. That's kind of where I really learned about the sport, got my feet under me, came back, won, I forgot how many straight, and as an amateur, went 7-1-1, and went pro, and man, 9 years later, I went pro. I started doing it in 2010, went pro 2012, 2013, something like that. You know, it's been a short time to the UFC, but I'm in a unique division where it's wide open and, you know, things can move very quickly. So.
Oh, definitely can. Especially, you know, I mean, it's almost like a unicorn out there. You know, when you have that heavyweight, someone who is that big and athletic to be able to rise to that level. You know, I mean, you were on the Ultimate Fighter as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, how did that opportunity arise? Like, what kind of opened up the door for you to be on the show?
You know, everything was kind of strategic when it came to that. You know, I didn't crochet, and I won't go by the Crochet Boss. You know, I had another name prior, but Crochet Boss kind of makes more sense for me. It's something that I do that I'm really passionate about. And real quick, shout out Line Brand Yarn too. You know, I've been doing. They send me yarn and they support the Crochet Boss because, you know, I've been using their yarn since day one. You know, they reached out to me on social media because they liked what I was doing. And I'm in a very unique space when it comes to athletes and crocheting. Those usually don't mix.
People see UFC heavyweight fighter, they don't necessarily always see crochet.
Yeah, hell.
Definitely unique.
Hey, but my stitches are impeccable, people. You buy one of my hats, you're going to spend some good money on it. Because I made it with these dogs right here, okay? The same dogs that I put whoopings on grown men with, okay? I made it with these dogs. And you're going to wear it and you're going to wonder why it's warmer than your $200 Patagonia that was made on a machine. I'm just saying, you know, stand behind my product, the Crochet Boss.
Awesome.
I forgot the question.
So as far as
about the Ultimate Fighter. But the Ultimate Fighter, man, you know, I was strategic about it. So when I went there, I knew that there's all these heavyweights are gonna be big, they're gonna be strong. You know, you may get some that look the part. You're gonna get guys that don't. How are you gonna set yourself apart? Well, I knew I was gonna be sitting there for hours and hours and hours. So I crocheted, literally during the tryouts. Crocheted. So if they thought it was just a gimmick, like a lot of guys are like, well, that's a great gimmick. No, it's not a fucking gimmick. Like, I really do this shit. Like, I've been crocheting for 10 plus years. You know, I haven't been fighting that long.
Right.
I was doing this way before I even thought about fighting because I was in the, you know, fashion. Okay. You know, and I had a clothing line called Monkey Business Decor, and the tagline was Die Free, Live Fresh.
Okay.
And then me and my business partner split, and Johnny Bravado, rest in peace, you know, he passed away, and but where he took the clothing line and taught me a lot about just, you know, the fashion industry. So that's why, you know, I still got that. And the Crochet Boss is gonna have his own line. I got a logo. So in due time, you know, right now I'm just trying to make a name for myself on this platform that I have, which is the UFC. And I think I can do that. The Ultimate Fighter itself kind of showed me what I may be capable of with more work. That was just a short time. That was like going through like hell training, kind of, you know? Like, even if you were hurt, you were pushing through the shit. Coach T didn't want to hear none of them injuries. Oh, you're hurt? Your knee hurts? Okay, go ahead and get on the hand bike. Oh, you can't throw a punch, but your legs still work? Go get on the bike. You know, he didn't want to hear none of that shit. And actually, that was like a gift in disguise, you know? Because it kind of showed you a little bit of mental toughness. And then, you know, the whole fight, the whole thing with Juan that happened when he hit me, and, you know, that showed me a lot. I lost the fight, you know, he beat me, and it's unfortunate, and I didn't go on to fight for the Ultimate Fighter contract. But, you know, there's two things that happen when you get hit and you get dropped. It's fight or flight, you know? And everybody can say they got it in them until you're in that position. And I was in that position and my body fought. So it just taught me a lot about myself, and you know, and I would never do it again. But it was a hell of an experience, and we had the better coaches. I mean, we had the better coaches.
Okay. So then that parlayed into, then obviously, you know, you did still make the dance.
I did.
Apart from the show.
I did.
You know, your first fight in the UFC was Jeff Hughes. Was that correct?
Technically, my first fight was Michel Batista.
Gotcha. Okay.
On Ultimate Fighter finale.
The Ultimate Fighter finale. Right. Okay, that makes sense.
But my first fight that I got a fight kit with my name, and I felt like all them other dudes. Was Jeff Hughes.
That was Wichita, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a.
Yeah, I talked to Jeff actually before that.
Oh, really?
That happened. Yep. So
That was a tough one, man.
Small world, how it all circles around.
Really?
But,
yeah. I like Jeff's a cool ass dude. Jeff's tough as fucking nails. I mean,
because that was the second time that y'all fought, right?
We fought 25 minutes the first time. That was another 15. You know,
Yeah.
and I was out of shape, and I knew it was close. I was sweating bullets. I didn't want to lose twice to him, like, you know. But I couldn't say no to the matchup because we knew so much about Jeff. Mm-hmm. You know, I figured if Jeff didn't change, I thought I could win even out of shape, right? Taking nothing away from Jeff. I'm just thinking of my abilities and, you know. But again, it proved to be, they could say what the fuck they want about the fight. I felt like me and Jeff, you know, kind of got after it in some places, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt great to not only get that win back, but you know, kind of get my first UFC win.
Yeah,
a UFC fighter, you know, and this was another step up, you know.
What's your thoughts now as you go into, you know, you're wrapping up camp, going into your second, you know, full on UFC fight, you know, so third technically overall, but now that you're going into the third, what's, you know, where are you at in your process?
You know, right now we're just sharpening everything. We're just, you know, it's like you have a synthesizer or something. You're just putting those small tweaks to all the knobs. All those knobs are my tools, right? So we're putting them small tweaks to make them just right. So, you know, Mark Montoya is an amazing coach thus far. You know, I got nothing bad to say about him. The way he teaches striking, the way he explains things. So I can understand it, because, you know, it's one thing to know what's going on, but until somebody gives it to you to a way that you can understand it. So when you're fighting, you don't have to think much, but he says something, oh, okay. You know, sometimes I want to know the why behind it. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when I came out here, and obviously now I'm here for my camp. So by the end of this camp, man, I'm going to be a machine. I've never done a full fight camp.
Okay.
I've never done a full fight camp.
Really? In your whole career?
Never.
That's crazy, man.
Never.
Well, definitely glad that you're out here, you know, because I'm sure in your, you know, in your travels and your experiences as a fighter, being that you're a heavyweight, it's hard to find training partners.
Yeah, so you end up working with a lot of smaller people that are in your weight class. But if you're smart, you work things you can't necessarily work with a heavyweight. You know, you work your slips and your speed.
There has to be something to be said about just you know, like Tony Ferguson was talking about it in his post-fight talk about just general mat time. About time, you know, he said that his dad talked to him about it when he was a young wrestler, in that he would go to these wrestling tournaments and he would just go and he would just stick guys left and right. You know, he would just pin them immediately. But his dad was telling him, you know, like, hey, you need to get your mat time. Like, you need to not spin. You know, you need to not pin these guys so quick. You need to work on some technique. You need to feel what it's like in those, you know, those grind portions of rounds. So that being said, you know, I'm sure there has to be something of benefit of going through, you know, those big drilling rounds of, you know, whether you're doing jiu-jitsu to your MMA rounds or kickboxing rounds with other big bodies, someone else who is going to be able to bring a little bit more power than a smaller guy. And even at that, even if it's some, you know, light heavyweights, there's a lot of heavyweights.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you get work with good big bodies here, like your Chris Camozzi's in the world, like your, you know, Dustin Jacoby's, to those other guys who had experience.
Like Chris Camozzi's
big
in there.
levels.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
But like Dustin Jacoby, you know, he's not quite as big as a heavyweight, but he's a big guy still, you know.
Still
everybody poses their own, you know, issue to my game, and the great part is I have a bunch of different type of bodies to see, you know, what I can do, what adjustments do you have to make, and you know, that means some days you're gonna come in here and get your ass whooped. And some days are not gonna be great days. Some days you're gonna have good days, but you know, that's where I want to get it done at, you know. Even sparring rounds. If I'm a losing round, I'd rather lose them in here. So we win them on June 29th, you know?
Yep. No, that's totally understandable there. And, you know, I feel like just in general, as an athlete, the more competitive looks that you can get, the more times that you can place yourself in adverse circumstances, the better off you're going to be long term, or you know, because then maybe you never see that look of this wrinkle that the guy who is a little bit longer and lanky, maybe you never see that in a fight, but maybe 5 years from now there is somebody who comes along that does have that kind of skyscraper type of build that you saw this look a few years ago, and it's something that's familiar. Maybe it doesn't come right away, but it comes down the way. I think that's a huge benefit of anybody who comes here as a part of the fight team, because there's so many bodies that you can.
And that's what happens when you go to like a world-class gym. A lot of people seek the gym versus the alternative with them, or just wait for somebody to walk in, where you're getting the athletes you're getting and the level of competition just amongst your teammates is on another level. So I'm taking it all in, man. It's my first camp. I'm really new here. I'm kind of taking everything in and trying to really understand, getting used to kind of how a camp goes, I like it so far.
That's good.
It's kicking my ass, but there's enough time to recover, which is also important. As I'm getting old and I don't recover fast. So yeah, man, I'm in the right place.
How's it felt being here in Denver specifically?
The elevation,
altitude, everything like that. Yeah.
With the altitude, it was a little adjustment, but I'm finding my cardio coming along, and I can't wait to go back to sea level and fight. I can't wait to see what that feels like.
Having that extra gear.
When his motor's almost out, you push the what's that shit called? You push the NOS button.
Yep, exactly. Engage those afterburners. And just
Mo, I know you're tiring out. I'm gonna push this button.
Yep.
Oh, there it is.
Yep, exactly.
So I don't think by any means it's gonna be an easy fight, but.
So you fought in Glory.
Yeah.
What was that like? Going through that experience, because
it was tough.
It was a Grand Prix too as well, right? Or was it a tournament?
I did it the same one Dustin and Kobe.
The same one that Dustin did.
I did it at heavyweight, and I called on short notice to do it. Never kickboxed a day in my life. Went, made it to the finale, made it to the final, and I ran into fucking Xavier Vigny.
Well, that's a tough job.
I ran into Xavier Vigny in the final. He had 2 first-round knockouts.
Yeah.
Big homie was fresh. I just did a 3-rounder my second fight.
Yeah.
And I had made my debut in Chicago. I won a decision, and then they didn't call me back for 3 years. And they called me one day randomly and said, hey, we need an alternate for a heavyweight tournament. Flew out to San Diego, fought the alternate fight, knocked him out with a straight left, and that kind of just fired everything up. And then I had tough opponents. I think I fought Kathleen Morisano, Anderson Braddock Silva, Chai Perry Lewis, And like I fought Chai out of shape, Yeah, I'll fight. I'll fight. I don't know. I don't like to fight, but I enjoy competing. And I'm not afraid to go to sleep. What that means is I'll try to go for a big shot, and sometimes in the interim you get caught. Mm-hmm. But at least I didn't say, well, I pulled it back. No, so Hey,
that's a true warrior spirit right there, though. You're not afraid to, you'll take one to give one.
And nothing's free. But nothing's free, though. You're gonna get hit back. Nothing's free. You're gonna get hit back.
I feel like it's just a lot like what Coach says, though. It's not what you throw, it's what you throw after.
Yeah. Because what's gonna happen is you start throwing those shots after and say, fuck, well, when I throw that, he's gonna hit me. And I don't want to get hit like that, So it's just getting that mentality of like, Coach Joe say, man, you gotta not care what happens to you. You go, sometimes I go in for that takedown, like, hey, let's go get some stitches.
Yeah, well, that's the truth, because, shit, you never know what's going to happen. You may catch that knee on the way in, That's, I've seen it here.
But you give them so much more time when you don't commit to it,
Exactly.
The window for them to hit you is so small. And sometimes you do get
say
caught.
full send. You got to go full send. You know, gotta commit 100%.
Yeah, you gotta commit 100%. You can't, you know. And I say this right now, and yeah, sometimes I still pull them, but we all do. Nobody tells you. We all do that shit.
Well, I think that exactly what you're referring to in that instance is the now infamous and viral Mike Perry clip about how about how he started talking about like you hear
You
like,
gotta go, Mike. You gotta go. You fucking go. I don't want to get hit right now.
Yep. Exactly.
You gotta go, Mike. You gotta do something. You gotta go. You gotta go. I don't want to fucking go.
Right. Yes.
I mean, that's so true, though. You know, but through what I'm doing now, you know, I'm fully like I'm trusting the process, right? So Coach always says you just gotta trust the process. So what that means is if I hear something, that means he sees something, do it. You can't really hesitate. You hesitate, you miss the opening.
Okay.
So
his puppet.
yeah, kinda. You know, in a way, with some things. You know, I'm sure there's times he'll let me flow, but if if they see something, you know, you just gotta trust the process and know that it's gonna work. Even if you throw it in the back, you gotta know it's gonna work. You gotta believe it's gonna work. So, I'm making everything comfortable right now. You know, and I'm pretty athletic, so it's easy for me to add strikes and make. You know, if I can, I won't. But you know, my ultimate goal when I go anywhere and train with new people is just from everybody that I train with. If I could take one thing that they taught me, or one little tip, or if you teach me how to finish a Kimura faster, or finish this faster by just tweaking how my grips are, if I gotta roll it, or you know what I mean?
Right.
If I gotta put the blade in, or something that I'm not doing, that's ultimately gonna help my game. You know, when Anthony was here before he went to go fight Alexander Gustafsson, I was picking his brain. Mm-hmm. You know, I picked Dustin Jacoby's brain. I try to pick Chris Camozzi's brain. They're all helpful, and then you got this huge coaching staff, which is just beyond just Mark. You got a huge coaching staff that has a wealth of knowledge. You know, we all fight differently, right? So you take a little bit from everybody, man. You just keep adding these tools.
Time at Professor Busy's school too, as well.
Yep.
How has that been learning under him?
That's traditional. That's traditional jiu-jitsu. You know, my jiu-jitsu coach is Brock Larson, and we battle on and off the mats, and you know, I take pride in jiu-jitsu. You know, that's something that even if I'm not doing MMA, jiu-jitsu is something that I'll probably carry on. And you know, I'm a 2-stripe blue belt, and right now I'm just enjoying the process. You know, once you get that black belt, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be the last belt you're gonna wear. So, you know, up until then, it took me a while to realize that. You know, my manager and my coach were telling me that, Brock. You know, just enjoy the process. I didn't know what that meant for a while. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, there's no pressure being a 2-stripe blue belt. You know, but I'm very, very, very good. You know?
Oh yeah.
3rd triangle choke in heavyweight history. Okay, from my back, just so you know. And Stefan Struve was the only other person to do it twice. So 2nd heavyweight, just so you know. Not a big deal, but a big deal to me.
I mean, it keeps you on, keeps you on all the reels. Anytime they mention something like that, there's you right there.
I know I'm gonna get the 4th one too. I don't know when, but I'm gonna get the 4th one from my back too.
Hell yeah, man! I love to hear it. So I gotta ask you this, just because it is something that's very unique. What got you into crocheting overall? You mentioned being big into fashion, liking that, but crocheting specifically, what led you to that art, if you will?
We wanted to do something different with our clothing line, and where I was working at the time, one of the girls were, her parents are from Iowa, and her mom knitted her scarf, and she had, I was like, man, that scarf is so dope, and she was knitting. So on my lunch break, went to Joann's, bought some needles, and she taught me how to knit. So I was knitting for a while, and my fiance was like, babe, let's learn how to crochet faster. Got on YouTube one night, learned how to crochet. 30 minutes later, I had a shitty looking hat, and we just kept doing it. And you know, I started to figure out, well, with my yarn, the hooks I use, what size my hats are going to come out. It's all trial and error. And now I'm at a point where I have my own pattern. They're stuck in here. You know, I make a husky hat, a headband, a beanie, and sometimes maybe I make some boot cuffs. Maybe you may get a scarf out of me. I don't know. I mean, if you want to pay for it, I got you, cuz.
Do you take custom orders?
I stopped doing that. It gets a little much.
Just a little much. I'm sure with all of your fights.
This is what I like to do. Like I'm gonna collect the email list and just put a mass email. I'm doing a drop like Show Your Old does. I'm doing a drop at this time, and I'll make batches of hats for that. You know, but in the meantime, you know, I'll have T-shirts and I'll have my dad hat collection because I'm big on dad hats. I have my dad hat collection and all that stuff that you can buy like year round. But if you want one of the what I may call the Redwood original joints. If you see something, maybe I can't say that. I can't call them.
Maybe not that exactly, but I get the concept.
Maybe if I call them the Crochet Boss original joints and put a nice tag on them, those would be all the ones that I make personally, and maybe I'll get some made in the machine. Okay. If they just want to have something, you know. But you know, the hats I make they're second to none, people. Second to none, just so you know.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to invest in some of that once it comes back to this cold winter time out here in Colorado.
You let me know.
I mean, hey, you never know. It might start snowing again here in the next couple of weeks. We got snow the last week of May, and it's June, so you know.
No, you lying.
Nah, it probably won't snow anymore at this point. But no, I'm messing with you.
Oh.
But it did snow really late in the season this year, so you know, who knows? I like having a bunch of warm stuff though because it gets cold out here.
And my shit is really warm.
So
just so you know.
Look into that. Yo, so I have to ask you then, following up from that, everything goes according to plan, June 29th, what's next?
I'm going to finish Junior Albini. You know, I continue what I'm doing, you know. I was out of shape my last fight, you know. There's no reason why there should be any lack of shape for this fight. I got, between our strength conditioning and our practices, and just he can do whatever he wants to do. That's great. You know, he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. That's awesome. You know, that's what's up. I respect that. Mm-hmm. I'm still gonna beat his ass. You know. That being said, you know, there's still more work to be done in the gym. So, and that's not me being cocky. That's me just being confident. I'm better than him. You know, he's good. I'm better than him though.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it, man. I love the energy around here. You know, I love getting to watch your rounds the other night. That was, you know, I'm just a fan of the sport. I'm a purist at this. Obviously, you know, I mean, I've built an entire brand surrounding this sort of stuff. But, you know, I can't wait. You know, I'm very honored to have you on the show today. So thank you very much for taking the time. You know, as we start just to kick out on this thing, we are the Comments from the Peanut Gallery podcast. You can check us out at www.cftpg.com. Check us out on all social media platforms at Comments from the Peanut Gallery. Thank you guys very much for following along. Appreciate everything all along. Make sure you check out my boy Maurice on June 29th. June 29th, right?
June 29th.
June 29th.
UFC on ESPN 3, I think it is. So it's on regular ESPN, people, not ESPN Plus, regular TV. As of right now, it shows it on the first fight on. So don't think you're gonna turn it on late and miss the good ones. If you don't turn it on early, you're gonna miss one of the best fights, okay?
Let's just call it right now, gonna miss the fight of the night. Check my man Maurice.
Shit, whatever one gets me the bonus, performance, is fight of the night, knockout, whatever one, performance, whatever. Just that's what it is. As long as I see that in my bank account, we Gucci.
Because who doesn't like watching a good heavyweight fight? This is the Comments from the Peanut Gallery podcast, signing out.
Sleepless nights I lay awake, thinking about the future while you lie in bed. I'm getting cake, rolling loud Buddha. They ain't enough hours in the day to do what I'm doing. Make felony music so criminals can't get high to it. We ride to it and fly through the sky, moving at light speed, so don't blink, you might lose this spaceship. We ride in that fly shit. You couldn't try this way of living, you die quick. No chance of sleep, I'm wide awake on this night, rolling up my loud in hopes it'll help lower my eyes. Dilated, now I'm faded, mouth real dry. See some Hennessy to wet my tongue, feel real nice. Looking for a baddie, come to bed with me, open the thighs. Let her rub my back as I'm blowing pack, finish the night. Roll big trees, fat sticks, that's a lot of lumber. Sipping mixed drinks, blowing sweet till I achieve slumber. Yeah.